Hurricane Florence is now charging toward the East Coast as an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane, and we know what that means. Ahead of landfall, President Trump held a briefing to assure Americans that the government was, quote, totally prepared to handle the storm. Well, the president was then asked what lesson he'd learned from last year's Hurricane Maria, which ravaged Puerto Rico. And here's what he said.
I think Puerto Rico was incredibly successful. I actually think it was one of the best jobs that's ever been done with respect to what this is all about. I think that Puerto Rico was an incredible, unsung success.
Well, 2 weeks ago, Puerto Rico had to raise the official death toll from Hurricane Maria from 64 people to nearly 3,000 dead. The figure was 46 times larger than was initially expected. Almost 3,000 people dead as opposed to 64. Well, that's a mistake. The mayor of San Juan quickly responded to the president's comments today by tweeting, "Success? Federal response, according to Trump in Puerto Rico, a success? If he thinks the death of 3,000 people is a success, God help us all." Well, joining us right now on the phone is the mayor of San Juan, Carmen Cruz. Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Thank you. What do you make of the president's assessment of the quality of work done by the federal government?
Well, I think the president's statement is despicable. It just goes to the lack of understanding of reality that he has. If he thinks that the death of 3,000 people is a success, he really doesn't know what this was all about. This was never about politics. He's talking about unsung praise. Well, you know, nobody's singing his praises because when you have 3,000 people...
I think we just lost the call here. Susan, you had some experience with Susan Percio.
Yeah, I was down in Puerto Rico 6 weeks after the hurricane hit on a humanitarian mission up in the mountains where they had not seen anybody. They had not seen doctors, and I was with a group of doctors. They had no commerce. They couldn't even buy medicine. They had no changing of money. But more importantly, these people were sick. Their water supplies were gone. They were drinking dirty water. I would say I was staying at some kind of lodging with FEMA workers and military people on site, and they were having trouble reaching the people up there. It was devastating, Chris. And I'm actually, given what I saw, I wouldn't be surprised if those numbers get readjusted again, because there were so many people who had no access to dialysis and other medications that it was so tragic.
Let's go back to Carmen Cruz. We've reconnected with her. Madam Mayor, tell us about the situation today, because my understanding is that this crisis is not over in Puerto Rico, even from last year.
The crisis isn't over. Our infrastructure is very weak. Actually, I'm right here with a group of employees from the municipality of San Juan. We had flooding last week in San Juan. We have flooding just today. And there's about 60,000 people with blue tarps or blue roofs. Suicide rate has gone up between 20 and 30%. Suicide attempts have gone up between 55 and 60%. So I really don't know where the president gets the nerve to call this a success story. He thinks this is about him and about his political positioning. Well, you know, my heart goes out to the people of South Carolina and North Carolina if he thinks what he did in Puerto Rico is a success. And I sure hope, for the sake of life-saving situations, that he learns from his mistakes. He doesn't have to say it, because apparently he's incapable of getting what went wrong in Puerto Rico.
If Puerto Rico had a vote, electoral votes in the Electoral College in picking a president, how would President Trump do there?
Well, you know, answering that question really is making this about whether Puerto Rico should be a state or not. And Katrina is an example of how, when governments don't respond properly, people die. Definitely the relationship between Puerto Rico and the United States needs to change. We need to sit down and talk about a process, not about the end result. Some people believe in statehood, some people believe in free association like I do, and some believe in independence. But this was never about politics. You know that Carly Simon song that says, "You're so vain"? Yep. You probably sing this song is about you. President Trump is so vain. He thinks this humanitarian crisis was about him. It was not about him. It was about saving life.
Yeah, we're
And he was
watching
not
now,
off to par.
Mayor, we're watching him doing this doofus thing of throwing bounty picker-uppers to the crowd of people out there during the, paper towels. It's the strangest thing to do for people facing a crisis, throwing paper towels at them. Anyway, thank you for joining us in this critical time. San Juan Mayor Carmen Cruz, good luck with what's going on. Good fortune with you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.